Hello, and here we are again. This is a Hornby King Henry VII that was sent to me by Adrian along with the King Stephen. He says that this has a limp and that he can't get the underframe off. I imagine the underframe is the same as the King Stephen with those horrible clips. But let's see what happens under power. So as you could hear there, this has got a pretty serious clunk going on. We'll get it into the shed, into the bench, take it apart and see what's causing that. Don't like the sound of it though. Righto then, let's see if we can see what's causing the kick in this thing. Yeah, so this is a streamlined King class. Not come across one of these before. I have to say, not my cup of tea, but it's interesting. Right, okay, let's get a look underneath. So the brake rods are not present in this one. Everything else looks okay, all the wheels are reasonably clean. It's another made in China model. It appears to be in reasonably good condition. So we shall get the body off and then see what's what. But this is pretty much the same as the King Stephen. Not the best design. Just get a screwdriver in there, no more. Come on, out you come. Probably just fall out. There we go. Right, does that lift out? Yes, it does. Like so. So this appears to have a blanking plate fitted, so it's DCC ready. So I think we'll have a look in here first, see if there's anything obvious that's causing the problem. I mean, a kick like that, I've seen it before, and it's usually a foreign object in the gears, a bit of ballast or something. So fingers crossed that's all it is. Just turn this one gear. I'm not seeing anything there. I think we'll remove the motor though. The black sticky stuff. So these gears are okay. The worm gear appears to be okay. We shall get the underframe off and see what's going on. The screws are not stripped on this one. It should now lift out. Oh, I think this has been off a couple of times. A cocktail stick in there. One in there. There we go. Dearie me. Right, okay. That should just pull up through there. Right, what is causing this to kick? Ah, we've got a cracked drive gear. That's what it is. Ah, that's a pest. I was really hoping it was just a small foreign object, but no, it's a cracked drive gear. If I can get this taken apart and get the middle wheel out, and then you shall see. Let's just get that out the road. Okay, so I'll need to get these drive wheels out. So I'll have to undo that. Little spacer there. Do the same on the other side using the Hornby crank pin remover, which is far too short. Just really annoys me. It's too fiddly. Right. Take that spacer out, and now we should be able to get this out. Yeah. So what happens when you've got the cracked drive gear, not only will the drive gear slip on the axle, but where the crack is, the two teeth are wider apart than all the other teeth, so you can get a little kick. It's where it's not quite meshing with the gears. So we need to replace that gear. So I'll need to go online and see what we can do about that. In the meantime, we'll give this a clean up and a service. And when we get the replacement, it should be good to go. Right, we'll get some contact cleaner down in there. Give this a clean out. Just get all the greasy gunk out of there. And we'll give that worm gear a bit of a scoosh. And we'll give these a clean. The monkey crush on these actually. Okay, put that back in there. Put a little bit of gear oil in there. And some silicone grease back on there. Wipe the fingers. Put that back on. And give this a scoosh out. It's not quite as bad as the King Stephen. Grease on the worm gear, and also a wee drop of gear oil. Okay, so I'm going to leave this just now and get a new drive gear ordered up. Goodness knows when that'll come. So this is just going to have to be paused for a while. Okay, so a few days later, I looked this model up online, only to find it doesn't exist. Hornby never made a streamlined King Henry VII as far as I could see, although the real thing was streamlined like this in its lifetime. So I think this is a bit of a Frankenstein model. The chassis is certainly a Hornby King class, but the body, I have no idea, even if it's a Hornby body. I mean, I think Lima made a streamlined King class body like this, but I don't know if this is Lima or not, and if it is, I'm surprised it would fit a Hornby chassis. So I don't know, let me know if Hornby did make one of these, but certainly this didn't start off life with that body. Anyway, it doesn't really matter other than making it tricky to be sure what the correct part numbers are because I've got no specific model to reference. What I did realise quickly was that you cannot get replacement drive gears for these, not on their own. You have to buy a whole wheel set. So I got a wheel set from Peter's Spares. I mean, thankfully they're easy enough to get and reasonably cheap, so it's not really that big a deal. And actually, replacing, that as one part is a lot easier than having to pull the wheels and take the gear off and refit the wheels and quarter them and everything else. So just swapping that part out, or I think because I've got new wheels, I'm just going to swap all the wheels out. It's relatively easy. So let's just pull that out the way again. We'll get this in position first just to make sure it's all going to be fine. So this will only fit in that one way. Make sure that bearing's in the right position. And that engages with the gears, that's fine. We'll connect up the middle wheel and then we'll replace these two wheels, because we might as well, if we've got brand new wheels, we might as well fit them. Saves me cleaning them, I suppose. It's a bit of a fiddly job this, because in older models, you know, normally the crank pin is coming out of the centre wheel and the pin with the thread screws down inside it. But with this, it's just one piece. But you've got to get the space around that. But this has to go through that rod and that. And you've somehow got to get the spacer on and keep the spacer in place while you fit this through. So it's a bit of a fiddle. It's in there like that. So that one, we'll do the same to this side. There we are. Now, we'll take the other old wheels out. Come out like that. Right, fit this wheel in. Just get the bearings in place. That. And we can fit that rod back on. That one, and then we'll do these front wheels as well. Come on, get into place. There we go. Right. Just want to make sure that the pin doesn't catch the rod. There we go. Should move freely. Righty-ho, that's the wheels fitted, and we'll get some fresh oil in there. Now we can start to put this back together. As I found with the King Stephen, this front bogie gets a bit clanky, so I think I'm going to put a little bit of molly grease on that. Just see if that stops it being quite as clanky. Then we have to get this down into position. There we go. And that'll hook in there, that'll hook in there, and then we'll get the screws in. And I've been a complete idiot and forgotten to fit the tender drawbar in there. No, there's no way I'm going to be able to fit that drawbar screw without pulling this underframe out again. What a stupid design. So I think that wants to go through there, and the spring will go on there. Would that be right, or does it go the other way around? Hang on. Yeah, right, okay. Put that on there. That then goes through there. It'll then go in there. Right, is that right? Okay. Got this down again. I think this gets the award for the daftest way to fit a tender. Alright, okay. Get these screws back in. Righty-ho. We'll fit the body. I suppose we should test it on the test track first. Make sure the new wheels are doing their thing. Yeah, that all looks fine. I'll tell you what we'll do that I haven't done. Let's put a wee bit of oil on all these linkages, which you should always do if you've had them apart, especially given that these are new wheels. Nice. Okie dokie. Right, we'll get the body on. Right, that's going to hook on at the back. Wait a minute, let's get that up there out the road. And that should come down like that. It's a very snug fit, so I'd be a bit surprised if it's not a Hornby body. Somebody's done a very good job of making it fit if it's not. Right, now squeeze this screw in. Right, there we go, we're done. So that is this Hornby King Henry VII with its streamlined body sorted out. We'll go and pull it out the shed and give it a run around the layout. Okay then, let's bring King Henry VII out. So that's this modified Hornby King Henry VII sorted out with its new wheel set, and it's running really nicely now. Yeah, it was just a cracked gear drive causing the kick, and although it may seem a bit much having to replace the drive wheels rather than just the gear, it actually makes the repair easier, so I'm not complaining. And really the cost wasn't too bad. You can get a wheel set for this for under a tenner, so all things considered, I'm happy with that. Yeah, interesting modification. Let me know if you have any idea which model that body shell comes from. The base keeper plate or underframe on these King class models is a terrible design. You have to loosen it to remove the front bogie and pretty much remove it to detach the drawbar, which is just a stupid idea. The clips on the rear are far too tight and over-engineered. It's just silly. But anyway, that's both Adrian's King class locomotives sorted, so I'll get them packed up and sent back to him, and I'll catch you later, folks.